From prison to president, Nelson Mandela's legacy lives on around the world. He was the first black president of South Africa. His journey, though, to lead the country was long and painful. Mandela spent 27 years in prison, accused of trying to overthrow the government. In fact, this is video of him being released in 1990. It still gives me the chills. As president, he focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid. Now his grandson, Daba Mandela, is carrying on the legacy of his grandfather and is speaking, in fact, later this morning at UNF. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
When you look back at that video, how does it make you feel? What do you think?
Well, I mean, we think of the long struggle that our grandfather had to endure, all those years.
Do you find now, so many years later, that you are actually speaking with some students who may not even know about your grandfather's legacy?
That is true. I mean, I was in New York the other day and asked a young lady if she knows Nelson Mandela, and she had no clue who Nelson Mandela was.
What do you tell her? What will you tell the students later this morning at UNF?
Well, today I will talk about what leadership is really all about. What are the basics of leadership? Being selfless, putting the community ahead of oneself. When you talk about a man with compassion, a man who was able to treat people, whether they were royalty, musicians, international stars, or just a mere cook or person who maintained the garden, he had the love and respect to treat all those people with the same amount of respect.
Without violence.
Without violence. He managed to break the cycle of violence that the apartheid legacy had put on South Africa for so many years.
So it's interesting because we see what's going on in the world, and there is some division.
Too much.
Too much.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, knowing that one of your gifts certainly is to spread the message of hope and freedom and unity, how do you, if at all, alter your message as you speak now around the country to try to bring people together, considering what we have seen over the last year?
Well, I think we have to reach out to people and make them understand that we live in a globalized world. What happens in Japan affects what happens in America, what happens in South Africa, Nigeria, etc., etc. And so we are trying through Nelson Mandela Day, through the different initiatives that we have, to make people understand that we live in one world, and ultimately, whatever we do as a humanity is going to affect our children. We need to think about what kind of world do you want your kid to inherit? What kind of world do you want your kids to grow up in? And that is the real thing that people need to think about, and not the selfish inclinations of today or tomorrow, but generations to come.
It's interesting because do you find now, from what you see, are we better off when it comes to racism than we were years ago?
No, it seems as though we are moving backwards, to be honest with you. And it's very sad. But when you look at the younger generation, for me, we need to put as much as we can into the next generation, the young people. That is the key for us in order for us to unlock and break down the misconceptions that exist and all the prejudice and bigotry that exists in the world. We need to make sure our kids do not inherit what is happening in this world today.
Now, you felt so strongly, certainly, about the legacy of your father and what you have done in the community, particularly in South Africa, and that you've started Africa Rising. What is that, if you could explain?
Well, Africa Rising is really an organization geared towards building a new generation of African leaders that will empower themselves to be at the forefront of Africa's development. We do not want multinational corporations to be at the forefront of the development taking place. We want the beneficiaries and the people leading the development to be Africans themselves, because that is the only way it can truly become sustainable.
And just briefly, for those of us who obviously didn't have an opportunity to meet your grandfather and what you have learned about him growing up, is there anything that the general public didn't know or that you think would be important for them to know about your grandfather?
Well, I mean, there's so many things, but my grandfather had a great sense of humor, a social person. He even had a dance that we all fondly call the Madiba dance. And, the one thing that he loved more than anything in the world is children. We once asked him, what is the one thing that he missed all those years he spent in jail? And his answer was, all those years I spent in jail, I never heard the sound of children.
Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. I want to tell everyone how you can, in fact, go and listen, of course, to Daba Mandela speak. It's for the annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Luncheon. It's today at UNF from 11:30 until 1:30. It's at the Adam Herbert University Center. Tickets are $30. They are still available for purchase at the door.